welcome back. Happy New Year. I hope you all had such lovely holidays and you're all rested and enjoying the very wintry weather we're having. Today, I have got a little speed build for you. It's actually working on what I've been working on behind the scenes while I've been ill, but I've started a forever save file in The Sims 4. I watched MissLollypopSims, who I will link in the description for you. She started a forever save file, and honestly, it's such a good idea. I don't know why no one else has done this yet, because it was kind of getting to be a big thing in the Animal Crossing community with forever islands, which I haven't done yet, but this seemed like such a nice idea. Just a fun little idea, because I've started getting very detached from my gameplay and my builds in The Sims because I never play in it and I get bored and I just create a new save anyway. But with this, I feel like we can get connected with our Sims again and their stories and their lore and all the different worlds and just make it more, I don't know, more dynamic, more fun. So today we're going to do a build in Willow Creek, and it is a community center church. So let's go see. So this is the lot we're working on. This is Creek Cabana in Willow Springs, right at the end of the starter area, I want to call it. I can't remember what the neighborhood's called. It's not Crawdad Quarter, that's the more expensive one. Anyway, you know the one that I'm talking about. The one where everyone starts off when they first play The Sims. This is the neighborhood I've been working on. I actually only have, after this community lot, I only have one lot left to build in this area. What is it called? Quarter? I just said the word and I've already forgotten it. Anywho, this is the second to last one. So I've made it a community center. Oh, what was the... I think it's called a community center. It's the lot type that came with Eco Lifestyle. And so it has the extra options. It has a marketplace, a community garden, a maker space, and a average community space. So the first one we're doing is just the plain community space. And I wanted it to kind of look like a very small, obviously a small church that has kind of been left and has gone very run down, because this whole area is run down. You can see in the street there and just behind the lot, I've put in some stuff using tool mod into the area, so there's quite a lot of rubbish everywhere. There's some cars parked on the street, and there's some bins, the graffiti covered ones. I've also added a lot of the eco lifestyle trash around the place, which I will show off at a later date, but right now we're focusing on the church. So this church is obviously not for religious purposes because we don't have religion in the game, and I also don't have life and death, the pack, so this is why I made it more a community center rather than a place for your Sims to have funerals and stuff. But I did, in the main community space, I did add a wedding arch. I thought if you wanted a really small town wedding, this could be really cute because it's outside. There's flowers and ivy and stuff. You'll see it later, but I thought it'd be a cute idea. So at least you have an option in this smaller town side of Willow Creek to get married in, because I imagine the people that live here obviously have very low funds, as you can see from the houses on the right side of the church. Those are 2 residential rentals that I built earlier. They do have a family in there as well. Once I've finished this quarter, I've still forgotten the word. I still can't remember what it's called. But once I finished it, we will go through and I'll show you all the different lots that I built and the different families, and we can explore their stories and stuff because they do have written lore and things like that. I don't know if I'll share this save file because I have used any packs that I have available to me, and also some CC. There is some CC in this. Okay, maybe there's a little bit of CC in this, I'll be honest with you. So if I was to share it, I'd have to make sure I link all the CC that I use. Okay, here right now I'm watching myself struggle with this roof. This took me so long. I really wanted it open like that with those archways, so I could put like a bell in there or something, like make a bell and hang it in there. But the fact that you could just see into the gaping void of the roof was awfully frustrating. So I tried to fix it, as you can see now, like using multiple roof pieces, but it still just cuts into the roof for some reason. So I did get an idea because I was determined to make this work. And I thought by using platforms to hide it like this, and then use tool mod to select all the arches and move them down using tool mod, which is a great mod, by the way, if you don't have it. But it did this instead, so I had a hole through the roof and the platform for some reason. So I was getting really angry at this point. So I tried deleting the walls and then moving the archways down so it doesn't snap to a wall and create a hole. And I thought, wait, this is totally going to work because it's not going to be recognized as an archway because it's not actually clipped to a wall. So I do that, and then I put all the roofs back just for it to, again, not work. Because I put the walls back because it looked stupid that I just had a floating roof, and instantly it didn't work again. So I scrapped it. I spent so long on this. What is it even called? Is it a parapet or something like that? And whatever that top bit of the roof's called. I spent so long. I cut a lot of it out. Trying to find ways to make it look good for what I wanted. But in the end, I cut it all out, and then I went back to windows down here. So I ended up actually going with these windows with the shutters, because I thought, as much as they were still they looked kind of posh, I kind of thought they still went with that New Orleans vibe that this world is based on, because of the nice, the big tall shutters. I do end up changing the color of them to just plain white so they don't have that gold accent. But I imagine they're like the original windows of the building, so they've never been changed, and they're still there. So that's why they got some nice windows, because it is meant to be a church, an original church at the end of the day. So in this build, I did spend forever scrolling debug to find anything, fences, landscaping. I tried everything, but it took me so long. I don't know what I would do without Better Build By the mod, because it organizes and names all of the items in debug. So everything's put into proper categories and named with like set numbers. So like one set of a fence is all labeled like set number 4. And it's so easy to use, and you can use the eyedropper tool to with the debug stuff now with that mod, as well as the recolor tool as well, which is absolutely amazing. So this is actually one of the very few pieces of CC that I use in this church, in this build. It's this fence from, I think this is by Felix Andre. I'm gonna say it is because it looks very Felix Andre. But it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. Those stone pillars are so beautiful. And I thought it definitely looked like maybe that was original to the church. Especially where you can make the pillars like that slightly darker grayish tone, like they're weathered. So pretty. So pretty. Felix Andre is just an absolute go when it comes to CC. They make some beautiful items. Really, really beautiful. Anyway, so at this point, I've started covering the church in ivy, making it look a little bit more rundown, like it's been there for a long time. And this, I wanted a big statement window at the back of the church that I thought would look like, you know, like those big stained glass windows that you have in churches usually. This is the closest that I could find that I had that was still kind of the same size that I wanted. So that's the big window from, I'm gonna say, Get Together. It's from Get Together. There's another set of windows that I use from Get Together as well, because I like the stained glass options, and they still look kind of old school, you know. I did try a gate there, did not like it. Got rid of it. I thought it looked too grand. So I kept it open. I thought that would make more sense, and then people could just walk in and out of the garden space. Yeah, this has been really fun, actually. I've never really made a community lot like this. I don't think I've ever made the community space this particular lot type either. So it was really fun. It was nice to kind of switch up the decoration and the way it was put together by how I imagine the community puts everything in, especially with like the garden space and what I would want my Sims to have access to while still looking normal, like put in here normally by everyone in the community. Okay, I go a little bit crazy with the ivy, I'll be honest. I do go a little bit crazy with it. And this is not even the final ivy, so I do apologize. I go a little bit crazy with it, but I think it's totally worth it. Here I did want kind of a little statement window, and then this is when I find those other get together windows with the stained glass that I use in the little parapet thing. I'm gonna call it a parapet. I don't know if it is or not. But I thought they looked so pretty up there with the like yellow and orange stained glass. And then I find this little window number to put up above the door, which I thought was a nice touch too. I have used, so this terrain paint I've used everywhere in this little neighborhood. That's the word I'm looking for. I kind of like the idea that this street was kind of built at the same time. So the houses all have similar features. So they all have the same roof shingle or roof tile, as well as the same, what is it called? I think a lot of them have the same columns and spandrels, as well as the terrain paint stone. I used that in most of them as well, because I think it's just kind of nice. It makes the street look a lot more cohesive, and a lot of the times that's true. A lot of the people do have the same stone because, you know, when the buildings are built, they'll build multiple in one go, and they end up having the same kind of features like that. So this is the neighborhood with those features particularly. But I think it's actually the horse ranch tiles on the top, which I really like because they've got kind of, they still look like tile. They don't look quite like a thatched tile, but they still look rustic and a little bit run down with a nice dark shade to them. So I really like those tiles. Here I'm filling this little gap with as many flowers as I can find that still kind of look cohesive together. I imagine this area like a little community garden. Like the community tries very hard to keep those flowers looking nice for the neighborhood, you know. And maybe some of the older community come and water them and prune them and all that stuff. Now this is where I'm going a little bit crazy with the landscape. I wanted it to look slightly overgrown, but as if they are still trying to keep it looking nice. So I did those kind of wild bushes But here we're heading into the parapet. I still don't think it's called that, but I size up one of this chandelier and put it in there because I thought it would look nice. It doesn't quite hang down. I did want something to hang right down into the lower level, but I couldn't quite find something that I liked that was that long. So I just put that up there, and it'd be a nice little touch when you go into like the camera mode, and you know, look in from there. Okay, this is where I start having issues. This is when I do something that makes this build 10 times harder than it needed to be. But as you can see, I switched to the community garden version of the lot. I wanted to see what the different requirements were, right? And I got distracted and I was doing that. And I end up building this bathroom. So I've cut it out, but I end up building this bathroom under the community garden. And when you do that, it means that anything you do from then on doesn't get carried over to the other lot types. So if you stay on your active lot type, so this one's a community space, if you stay on this and build just on that, it transfers to all the other types of lots, right? So then you click onto community garden and it'll all go over there. It'll all carry over. But as soon as you switch and then make a choice, make a decision on your non-active lot type, it then doesn't carry over to any of the others. So I made this whole bathroom and then realized I was in the wrong tab and went back thinking that it would still kind of carry over, and it doesn't. So this is me remaking the same bathroom again because I messed up. I'll be honest, I did it wrong. So this is me kind of figuring out, being like, oh god, what have I done? But I do cut out what I did. I basically remade it, and then I went back to the community garden and just adjusted what I'd changed. But later down the line, what I end up doing is when I finish the community space as the active lot, I then save it as a lot to my gallery and then place it on the community garden lot type. Does that make sense? It was kind of convoluted, but I had to basically save it as a lot on my gallery and then place it down again once I changed the lot type, and then it was fine. So I just made sure to finish everything in the active lot and then upload it and then switch and then replace it down and then go from there. So I'm actually working on a little kids area over here at the moment. This actually turned out pretty cute for a very pokey little space. So basically that little bump out becomes the little kids area. So it's got a couple of bookcases, some chairs. I imagine maybe some kids volunteer to read books, you know, to the kids of the community. Or maybe some adults do it, I don't know. I just thought it'd be nice to have a little kids area. So if your sim did come and you wanted to bring your kids, they'd have things to do. So I did actually put some toys in here as well. And the nesting blocks for toddlers. And can infants use those? I did make sure to put a toy out that an infant can use, but I didn't put a infant mat down. So if you did want to put an infant mat down, you could probably just switch that flower rug out for one, and you'll be set for infants. I did actually add a Blarfy as well, because, you know, your kids can work on their skills while they're here too. That way it doesn't have to be just for adults, this community builds. So I then close it in a little bit more with these really cute rainbow curtains. I never used that swatch, but I thought it looked really nice over the archway, and you could like shut them. And just, yeah, I just thought it was a nice little touch. I do go a bit crazy in here with covering the walls because it's such a small space and we've got those big windows. I felt like we didn't have enough kid stuff. So I add all the decals and stuff, like those suns. And this little freezer bunny in a flower is like my favorite decal. I never use decals, but that one is like all-time favorite. I don't know what it is about that little freezer bunny, but he's so cute. And then I add what I imagine like the kids have made and brought in and stuck up on the walls. And I just go to town with the decals. I just go a little crazy with it. But it ends up looking really cute. The only thing is I do need to play test this build. Make sure you can sit on those chairs, get to the bookcases, play with the toys in that space. But I really wanted it to be tiny, you know? I thought it would be so cute. I prefer having those tiny rooms that are really full of things. I just think it looks more lived in. I think it looks more lived in and fun. Here I spend forever looking for some curtains to go in here. Do I end up putting anything here? I don't know if I do. I think I skip curtains altogether. Oh no, I went for these ones, these Dream Home Decorator ones. I'm not sold on them now. I'm looking back at them, but I'd spent so long looking for some curtains that I liked that I think I just gave up and chose these, which they're not bad. They've got the yellow in them from the chair, and oh, that bookcase is kind of phasing into them though, so I'll pull that out when I play a test. So yeah, that's the kid space pretty much done now. I don't actually adjust any of that in the other spaces either. That will always stay like that for every space. So you've always got a little kid space for whatever lot type this ends up being. But here I wanted to make some kind of little study room. I imagine these are all donated books. All this furniture I imagine is donated as well from the community, hence why nothing really matches. But I stick one computer here. I do think about putting two, but I thought we'd leave that space open. I didn't really think the church would be donated two of the same computers. So if you wanted to and you played, you could imagine, I'm going to say in air quotes, donating an old computer. If you maybe renovated your house, if you got some extra money and you upgraded your PC, you could save, well, you could sell it, you could get rid of that one and then come into this lot and build on it and add an extra computer. That could be a nice little gameplay touch. I do change up the lighting all the way through this build too. So when I first build, I put in those little baby saucer lights just so it's bright and I can see what I'm doing and the colors look as clear as possible. But as I do each room, I do change it up. So I do end up putting those little sconce lights in. I think I put those in every room actually. Yeah, I think I put those in every room. So moving on to the main room. This room does change up a little bit. But for the most part, for the main active community lot, I imagine this as the room for like your clubs. So say you've got, I don't know, a reading club, maybe you come here, or your kids have a homework club, maybe they come here, and I don't know, maybe a teen comes along and like tutors them and helps them all with their homework here. Or I also thought of maybe if you did like a knitting club, you could all come and hang out here and do your knitting together. I do end up adding a little kitchenette, so you can grab like some quick meals and things in here. And there is a little, did I add a sink? I don't know if I added a sink. There is a sink in the bathroom. I don't think I add a sink, but I do add a little bin as well. Now, I don't stick with this peach colored wall. I really liked it when I first put it on. And then I don't like that it looks too clean. And I end up not liking the color either. So I do go back to that. What is it called? I think it's I think the actual wallpaper is called like Unbent Smoothness or something along those lines, but it's a plaster wall basically. But it's got those, you can see it now, just above the archway into the kids' room. You can see like the texture in it. It's just a lot more lifelike. So I do go back to that one and basically add, you know, all the dirt and scuffs and things like that from, what's the pack that those came with? Oh, For Rent. And I think there's also, here we go. Yeah, I've switched back already. For Rent and, oh, I think it's, I want to say vampires and werewolves. I think those are the main ones for like wall scuffs and things like that. I did use the gross counters. Oh, and I put a microwave in, so that's kind of handy. You can get yourself some, I don't know, some chicky nuggies or something while you hang out here. But yeah, I did use the gross counters from, oh my god, City Living, because they're just the best ones, man. I wish we had some more like scuffed up ones like that. They're just such a nice touch to make builds look a lot more real, I guess. Yeah, here we go with all the scuffs and grossness. I feel like they don't make it look too gross in here. It just looks run down, like it needs a fresh coat of paint. And it just looks like a community lot, you know, one of those places that people don't really clean, but it's been there for so long that no one really cares. So this is another thing that ended up biting me in the arse as well, with all the scuffs and stuff. I do cut it out because it sucks, but I added them to the front of the building at the end. I forgot to do this before, but right at the end I realized I didn't put any scuffs on the outside of the building. So at the end I put some in and then changed the lot type and realized obviously it doesn't carry over. So I spent forever putting them on, switching to the next lot type, putting them on again, making sure I got all the right ones in the right spots, and you know, so on and so forth. So that took me forever, but I did do it. So it does all match, I think. Okay, we are moving on to the outside now. This, I didn't really know what to do because the thing is, you can see me looking over there just a second ago, but I have already built a park a couple lots down. So I didn't really want to make this a park space because I didn't want to end up overshadowing the other parks. So I end up making this just like a garden space, you know, with this is when I put in the wedding arch in this little green space here, and just a barbecue and a couple of park benches. I imagine maybe people host like a cookout in the summer, and all the families from the block come over and they have a little barbecue. I think that would be really, really cute. I did actually use quite a bit of... Did I use quite a bit of it? Outside, I think I used some vampires and... What is the stuff pack? The romantic garden stuff pack? I feel like they come in clutch with older builds, especially outside. They have some really good stuff. So I do add a little secret pea bush back there as well, so you know your Sims can be as mischievous as they like on this lot. I did add that back there, and it is on every lot type as well. So you do have a little woohoo spot as well. I didn't really know what else to do at the back there, so I do end up putting some boxes, like some crates back there. Like they've just stuffed them back there. Maybe that's where they keep the extra furniture when they change lot types. Okay, here is the wedding arch that I put in. It is another CC item. I want to say this is Hey Harry. yeah, it looks like a Hey Harry piece. But here is also when I go a little crazy with the ivy again, just to make it a bit more private. I didn't want, if you had a wedding here, I wouldn't want to like just have the fence as the backing and like these townies just walking past, you know. So made it a little bit more private, and I stuck in a little plants, made it look a little bit more overgrown. I don't know, it looks really freaking cute. What can I say? And then I add a couple benches, and then that's kind of this lot type done. Actually, we will then be moving on to the market space. No, the garden, community garden space. And I don't really change much about the inside other than that back room. And even then, it's not a lot by any means. Oh, and I did add that little, what is it called? The little free mini library thing that we just got in the event. I did add that out front. I thought that was a nice little touch next to the community board. Okay, we are now moving in to... Oh, no, we're not. Oh. My bad. No, I'm gonna decorate the walls real quickly. I think when I looked at it again, the walls looked really blank and gross. So I added some holiday decorations and those birthday cards. I thought it'd be so cute if you hosted a little birthday party here, and maybe, you know, you decorate the little community space ready for like a kid's birthday or something. I thought that'd just be so cute. Even if it isn't a dirty church, but it's more about the community, right? It's a small town. Everyone knows everyone, and everyone's just trying to get by. So I thought that'd be a really nice idea. I do add quite a bit of clutter in here now. Oh, and this is, I do put the boxes in here too, the like wooden crates. But I do put some magazines and some mugs, and I do put some plates out on top of the mini fridge as well. And then I just had some pots of pens and some crafting items and some books. You know, the usual, what I imagine people would bring and have at the table while they do, you know, whatever they want to do here. But I will be setting up some clubs for people to actually... for Sims to actually be in this save file, so I thought that could be a nice place to host said clubs, you know. Okay, here's the boxes. They are a little chunky, if I'm honest, so I do size them down and put those cardboard boxes on top. Oh, and I did just pull out, I don't know if you saw that very briefly, but I did pull out a clutter item from, oh goodness, what is it called? Nifty Knitting. And then I realized it would be so good to get in a knitting basket in here. So I do put it in, but not until the makerspace, because I thought we could probably stick with it being a creative space for that one. It would make more sense. Okay, and there's those crates. I do just stick those back there and add a couple more plants, and then adjust the terrain paint. I do have to say, the terrain paint in this build did take the build to another level. I think it just adds so much more life to it, you know. It doesn't look so flat. Okay, here is when we switch to the community garden. I do take out the wedding arch. That is only in the normal community space. And I take out that table. So I end up putting planter boxes outside. I think 3 big ones. Yeah, 3 big ones. And how many of the small ones do I do? 5 maybe, I think. So I do, yeah, 3 back here. Oh, no, 4. My bad, 4. And then I do add 1 vertical planter. It does say it's optional to have the insect farms and the vertical gardens. I did add 1 vertical garden just for, I don't know, just for funsies. I put it where the grill was in the other space. But I do add the insect farms. I thought that'd be a really cute opportunity. Like maybe the kids can come look at the insect farms and stuff, and maybe they help build them. So then I went down the route of what else could we add that could do with a garden into this build. So inside I end up putting what is that item from Adventure Awaits, the little caterpillar net thing, this thing I'm looking at right now. I can't remember what it's called, but I do put a little table out and I put 2 on there, and maybe the community kids, you know, come and grow caterpillars. And I also put a fish bowl just for funsies because I never really use a fish bowl. And I thought it would be cute to have all these nature things, and you know, the parents could teach the kids about certain nature related things. Oh, and I stick in this little flower arranging table, so if you want to do flower arranging, you don't have to buy one. You have one of these here. I try to take advantage of all the different packs and what they offer each skill. Otherwise, it would have just been a room with plants boxes, and I don't know, I thought we could have a little bit more. Alright, so here I'm just adding some clutter, and then it's pretty much done. And then we move on to the next one. Once that original space is done, these ones move pretty quickly because the base is all the same, right? You just take out a couple of pieces of furniture and switch it up. So, here I did realize, so this arch that I put in, I really loved it, but it's a wedding arch, so I didn't actually know if your Sims would walk through it. So I do try and look for a different arch that's pretty much the same, but not a wedding one, and I don't find it. So I end up going with it's like an arch item that came with Eco Lifestyle. It's the wooden one that they paint. Yeah, this one. This is what I end up going with, but I put it on the inside rather than the outside of that little fence area. Because I didn't quite, I don't know, I wasn't keen on it. But it does look homemade, so it does look like maybe the person that works at the church, maybe they made it. Okay, so here we go into the marketplace. This, I actually quite liked the idea of this one. So in my head, I imagine, like maybe they do a marketplace on a Sunday, and everyone comes and sells their stuff. So I did it as what I imagine is a little walkthrough. So you go in the front of the church, and you have a painter's, what are they called? Painters selling wall thing. I had one of those in there. And then the 3 tables out the back with all different signs on the front. And then what I thought was a really cute idea was putting a market food stall out front. So when people came, you could come and buy some food and then walk around with your food and look at all the different stalls and what people are offering. I thought that'd just be really cute. Oh, did I change the... Oh, okay, I end up changing that 3rd table out to a picnic table. I wondered why I was deleting everything then, but it's because I've changed to the last one. We've moved on. We're moving pretty quickly. This is the maker space now, so... Now, for this one, you are required to have the fabricator and the recycler. I really did not want to have the fabricator on this lot because, let's be real, it does not fit the aesthetic. They are not having a fabricator in this rundown church with all handmade things. Absolutely not. I'm not having it. So I built a basement and put it in the basement. It has been shunned to the basement, but no one can get to it and no one can see it. So instead, I did keep the recycler out. I thought that might be a nice touch. Like people are recycling the thing. Maybe they keep it for the week, and on the maker day, they, you know, come and recycle their stuff. Yeah, I added a little kid space outdoors this time. I put the 2 little craft tables and a science table. And then inside, oh, this is when I put in the knitting basket and the cross stitch basket. What else did I put? Oh, then I also add the 3 easels with a little tarp underneath them, just to make it look a little bit more dynamic. Here we go, here's the tarps. And then that's pretty much everything, I think. I do add some painters clutter here and there. I do search through the, what is that kit called? The Painter's Studio or some Artist Studio. I do go through that pack and add some of the clutter from it. And then it's pretty much done. I really enjoyed making this build actually. Once I started getting into it and I had the outside shape, it kind of came together very quickly. Which is kind of surprising for me because I'm not a big community lot builder. So I was actually really happy with this. And I think it's a nice statement at the end of the road. I really like it. Okay, here we go. Here's the clutter that I end up putting in. And it is only optional for a candle making table and a juice fizzer. So if you wanted this lot, I will post it on the gallery. And you can change out whatever, you know, whatever you want. So if you maybe didn't want your people to paint, and maybe you wanted a pottery station in there, you could put a pottery station in instead of the easels. But this is it. This is the whole lot. It actually came together really nicely. I really love this lot. I'm super looking forward to actually playing with it and having it in the game and seeing it at the end of that road. And once that last lot is built too on the side, I think this neighborhood's just gonna look super cool. So once again, thank you so much for watching and coming along with me while I built this. I will see you all soon. Have a lovely day. Bye.